Boy, that intro is awesome. I like it. Hello, all you YouTubers and no-namers. It's John Cope. And everyone can see you and hear you according to the box. I will wait for everyone to jump in here. John is not up to par today. He wasn't feeling good. He's fine. Nothing's wrong. He just asked me to jump in here for him, and I was more than happy to help John out on the day he wasn't feeling good. Like I said, don't send him no flowers or don't send him no get well cards. It's nothing bad. It's just he didn't feel all that good, and asked me to stop in and entertain all you great folks. So I'm going to, in the spirit of keeping it the John Wilburn Southern hospitality, I am going to absolutely do my best to keep the language cleaned with some Southern hospitality. I'll even talk a little bit slower because everything is done slow in the South, including their race cars. That was just a joke. So I see we have quite a few people in here already, and I'm going to give it about five or so minutes for everybody to sneak in here. But I see, let's see, where does this start? I see Junkyard D, Dean Stevens. He's in here. Some guy named Fart Jack Sack, or Jack Sack Fart. I don't know who that guy is, but I've seen him over there in Buff's thing there. Never Done Projects is around. Max Wedge, Dick Dastardly. Lars is here. Tim Jacobson. Everybody knows Tim. He runs my Transbrake. How you doing, Tim? Glad to see that you're here. Indirect Connection is here, and I had lunch with him and his friend today. I take it that, Jason, that you're back in Wisconsin. So that means you made it through Chicago. I hopefully you made it through Chicago with no bullet holes. Levi, the young kid, is here. That young man has got some talent and what he does to that race car. I think he's a fellow Hoosier, but he just lives at the very southern tip of the state, and I'm at the very northwestern part of the state. Yeah, long time no see. Also, Jason from Rabbit Transit Garage is here and in the chat. So those two guys came up to CRT today while I was doing a live, and they had to do the truffle shuffle out in front of my window before I would let them in there, and they did do it. And then I took them out we went to Aurelio's in Cedar Lake, and I hope they liked the pizza. Jeff from Two Hacks is in the house today. J.K. Kelly, is it Kelly? I think. Pure Pontiac Garage. NSB Custom Cars. Twisted Mopar Garage is always in the house. I'm just going to wait for everyone to get in here. Never Done Project. Who else? Justin Hill. And all the rest of you. How many Mopar people are here? We always get more Mopar. I see Kim just dropped in here. So we got a pretty good house so far. So we're 5 minutes in. Everything is fine with John. Do not send him flowers. Do not send him a Goodwill card. Uh, he is not ill. He is not in the hospital. Um, he's just feeling a tad under the weather. So you don't have to worry about him. He's doing good. He says hello to everyone. And he asked me to come in and host this live, which I don't think anyone's ever done that before. So after this 2-hour gig, if I make it 2 hours, then Tony's Hot Rod Garage is going to be on. Make sure you go in at the end of this live into his live and see him. It's always a good time to see him with his friends. Hello, Mohawks. Good to see you. Kim saying that John deserves a break a couple times a year. He only gets one break. So out of 52 weeks, he's in here on the live 51. He's only not in the one for the burnout contest. If it wasn't for the burnout contest, he probably would be live. So I had the pleasure and the honor to have lunch with two fellow, what do we call them? YouTubers, fellow no-namers. To me, that's kind of the same thing in our little group. And Jay and Jason, who I found out are, of course, our number one and number two is their no-name number. I found out today that they're childhood friends. They've known each other since grade school. They both married girls that they've known since high school. And those two girls were friends with each other through their grade school. And then their kids are hanging out with each other. So that is a great little community that they have, which is one of the topics I wanted to really put forth in the chat here and see what you folks think. Is the community that has been brought together. And I actually have that shirt on today. Someone had said that there's only two reasons people go on YouTube to make a YouTube channel, and that's for money or fame. Well, everybody here that comes here that is a no-name participant and takes the time to build their YouTube channel is into it for the community. You know, it really is something that is very unique. And you know, there might be some people out there be like, well, how come the no name doesn't grow from year to year? Well, it would be like a city that if it gets too big, then the community becomes overwhelming. And you know, like we've all been to big huge events, and the only people that you know from there are people that you may have known from past events, where when you go through to the no name event, you may not know every single person by name or shook that person's hand, but just about everybody you know. And if you don't know them or you didn't get a chance to go meet that person, you've seen their car online. You've seen them do some videos. I don't recognize, you know, or don't know every single person, but I know a lot. And it seems like every time, like, you know, I've met Jay and Jason before, but I sat down and had lunch with them today. So I got to know them better. So it's really not the size of the event that what's important. It's the community. The community is everything. And you know, you got to give kudos to John for putting that together, you know, getting everybody together for a little race. And there's really not much wrong with keeping it a little bit on the down low. You know, I it's just it's a perfect way for everybody in the perfect location to get together and be a community. All we're just buds. It's a big party for our buds. So I wanted to get that in there. Tony is in from Hot Rod Garage. Mopar Joe swung in here. Let's see who else. I think I got everybody's name. Here again, as you know, I'm a pretty big ballast resistor garage is in there too. I'm going to keep this out of respect to John, and I know his mom comes in here, and to keep it in within the theme of being Southern hospitality. You are not going to hear me cuss. So what is going on today? Let's see. I also see Dr. Go is in here. Yep, this is my second live. When I drove to the shop today, I was thinking about it in my head. I'm like, wow, what a great way to let everybody know, because this is the Black Friday sale, and then I decided to make it one day because it was Friday and then Monday, but then I would get people calling me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, I missed the sale. Could you let me in? So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make it really easy for everyone and make it one day. So I thought, what a better way, what a better way to reach everybody is to get out there on the live. So, and it was actually great. Unfinished project pulled a little joke on me between him and Wilburn. Hi, Mrs. Wilburn. It's nice to see you. It is going to be safe for you to stay in this chat. I'm going to be. What was I when I was a kid at the church? What do they call that, Elaine? No. Altar boy. Did you guys know I was an altar boy at a Catholic high school? So I'm going to be an altar boy today. All right. I got off the phone earlier with my paint guy, and the paint guy is telling me that my quarter panel is coming in. We found a good used quarter panel with no rust, and we're only using the quarter panel for a little patch panel. I got an old video from a year ago that I would love to play for my friend, Just Mopar Joe. Mopar Joe, are you still in here, brother? Let me see if I can get this thing to play. Let's see. Here we go. Is this it? Who's got the Christmas tree up? Let me see. I'm just playing with this. Bear with me, guys. Remove from studio. Show so everyone can see. I don't do the StreamYard enough. All right, I'm going to get rid of it and then try it again. Remove from studio. Why does it not let me pick how many you are in the studio and everyone can see and hear you? Oh, that's pretty scary. 24 degrees and it's snowing. That's about what it is here. We had some light snow showers. All right, I'm going to try doing this again. Nope, that's not the right one. I got a great video of Joe. Dang it. Oh, it's under present. Video file. Open.
People, welcome back to the channel. I'm
There
just
you go.
Joe, and I've gotten several phone calls, text messages, emails, Facebook messages, Instagram messages, wanting to know what happened in No Name Nationals 2023.
Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. You know, the nearer your destination, the more you slip sliding away. I know a man, he came from my hometown. He wore his passion for his woman like a thorny crown. He said, Dolores, I live in fear. My love for you is so overpowering, I'm afraid that I will disappear. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away.
That was for my buddy. That's a short that I made after Joe didn't win the watch your posts, especially the low ET ones. that Joe just had some traction problems, and I don't know what happened to my messages. There they are. And so, of course, him doing a back-to-back win, all slipped away from him, sliding away. Hello, Mater's Workshop. I'm just reading a little bit in the chat here. Let's see if I can find another video file to show you guys. I don't have a lot. This is actually off of my my laptop, and they're just little extra clips that I have that are untitled. When I saw that one slip sliding away, so thought I'd put that up there. SSR Performance, how are we going? How is it over by you guys? In case you didn't hear, John Wilburn's just feeling a little bit under the weather, so he decided to have me host his little special of on his channel. He's not sick. He's not in the hospital. He didn't fall off a bridge. He did not get run over by a truck. He's just not feeling up to it. So he asked, or he called in sick and took the day off. So, anybody got their Christmas tree up yet? I don't have mine up yet. Why does it say join the chat? Okay. I don't want to join the chat. Let's see what else I got here. I can hang in with you guys. Your computer. I tried putting my pictures up here, but it doesn't like them for some reason. It has to be a certain format too. If you don't put the pictures up, it's just not the right format. I mean, I got a ton of pictures on here, but it just you have to change the formatting for them. Busted Radio Garage. Did you get the T-shirts I sent your brother? Oh, you said it. Yeah, right there. Received the T-shirts. Thank you. Well, you're very welcome, my friend. I will. I actually am having lunch with Jeff on Sunday, so we're going out for Portillo's. His first job was a Christmas tree farm. I remember in high school you were selling Christmas trees, and the proceeds went to the school. That was kind of cool. It was a good time. Let's see what this is. I'm just looking real quick. You probably can hear this if it plays. Hello, everyone. John Cope again. Nope, can't play that. I don't know what it is. Change the shipping for the T-shirts. I can't change what's on John's website. So what's up there, J-Bo? How you doing today? Where's the boy? How come he's not in here? Let me see something else. Who would like, let's see if this works. Who would like to be a co-host? Anyone? Anyone? Maybe Joe can give us tips on bracket racing. Let me see if this works. This cannot be formatted. I must go to John Wilburn. Oh, I guess John Wilburn can only be the one to bring in. This communication failed. Posted to John Wilburn. I don't know. I could try it on my 6th Street garage. What town is 6th Street in? I would like to know that. Where are you from? You're still trying to figure it out? How could you say that? You're the champion of the No Name Nationals. At least 1 year you were, Joe. You shouldn't sell yourself short so much, especially being so tall that you are. Where's my mouse? Uh-oh, there's Blake. Here comes the trouble now. Look out. Man, I wanted to bring up some pictures through here, and I was practicing it to bringing up pictures, but they wanted them formatted for some stupid reason. To a different style format. And then when I change it from custom files to all files, I can see what the picture is. And then when I try to put it in, it says invalid, invalid file type. So that has to be a certain thing. Now, how did this just Mopar Joe thingy come up? Oh, this Mopar Joe tells me to click this. If you'd like to be on with John Culp. Oh, thanks, Joe. You can come in and you can tell us how great of a bracket racer you are. I'm gonna just put that there and reposition myself. Oh, that was my phone. Sorry about that. I put a link, or Joe did, because I'm partially retarded. If anybody would like to step in and say hello on behalf of John Wilburn. No cussing, though. We got to keep it clean. John's mom is still in here. And we can't, no cursing in front of Nina. Is it Nina? Did I say that correctly? What is Joe's motor going to run? We talk two different languages. He says 8 mile, I say quarter mile. You know, that's a weird thing. I've been racing quarter mile my whole life. And anyone puts any ET in their car or talk about the ET in their car that runs eighth, I have to do the conversion kit and convert it over to see what side, what RP, ET and whatnot it is. And even though I had it on my ET tickets, I never looked at it. I would look at my 60 foot, I would look at my mile per hour, and that was it. Oh, Joe's watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with his kids. What a great dad. Huh? Dallas is in the house. Say hello, Dallas. I sure wish I could put another picture in there. I'm going to try it again. Share screen. Window. Enter a screen. Let me try this. Nope, that doesn't want to work either. I'd have to reformat all the pictures on my computer to get any of up in the screen. Or I can do it the John Wilburn way. I just put my phone up there so you guys can see it. All right. Grandpa Grandpedo Vic. Cope, I'm doing an LSL 6L80E swap and an 03 Crown Vic police car with BRT hot cam. Let's see if I can get that up. How do you get that thing up on the screen? I'm sure my ET will probably be in the negatives, whatever that means. like oh something. Mr. Roberts' neighborhood's in the house. Half mile would be better. I don't think so. So today's sale actually went pretty good. I think I have we got up to about 17 or 18 tickets for the Black Friday thing today. So that means all of next week I'm going to be bombarded with orders and bell bodies and whatnot. Never done projects. Scope. We don't have an eighth track near what we ran, or we don't have a quarter, but we have an eighth. A few times cars seem to do better burnouts on the pad. All right. Does someone want to tell me how I get the little namey thing on the bottom of the screen? The highlight, private chat? Nope. Comments? Yep. I don't know. I try to prepare myself and come in there early to feel around on the StreamYard. It's just, boy, I tell you what, I'm having a hard time with it. Mic cam, stop setting presence. Slides, share screen, leave studio, having issues. It's just been a while since I've done this. And you know, I pay for this. Well, the shop pays for it. Turbo Terry in Chicago by Midway Airport. That Turbo Terry? You know, he's still doing stuff. I sold him like 3 or 4 valve bodies last year. You select the comment on the right that you want to discuss. Yeah, I see that. Oh, there it is. That's how that works. You got to click the little. Wait a minute. Is Joe doing that or am I doing that? All right. I'm getting some technical help here. I bet you this is what it is. A little technical help from a little friend. Feel free to You can only share video if you add in the window and the pictures. I can highlight the comments. Oh, I gotcha. So because this is Wilburn's page, and I am not Wilburn, I am just a guest. Only he has the power to bring up the comments. So I think he might be doing that in the background. So just so you know, Wilburn's watching you guys. So you better be on your best behavior here. So I'll stop trying to figure out how to click what's going on. Does anybody have snow yet? It was snowing here a little bit. Just a little bit. Let me try some. I'm going to move this over here. All right, present Slide. How's it going, Danny? Man, this thing is really kicking my butt. Weird question. I even learned how to put the music on in a very light tone, and now I can't do it. All right, I'll cheat. I'll do it the John Wilburn way. Oh, come on. Can't spell snow without no. You don't like the snow? All right, I guess we should bring a topic up. Jethro ate the turkey. I thought maybe Jethro was the turkey. Boy, I'm having a little bit of a hard time reading all this. Am I even live? I gotta check. Probably get some back feed. How come I didn't get a notice about fucking Wilburn? I said it. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. No, I'm on there. I am here. I guess Buff says I'm live. No cutout of Mr. Cope. That was some funny shit, though. So, I mean, I really was there. I was just a little flat. Could you run a trans brake and run the valve body wire through the oil pan? No, Joe, you cannot. I have a pass-through connector that you drill and put in the case. Did your kids get a hold of your computer or something? No, you can't run the wire through the pan. You put the wire through the case. Is Wilburn sick? No. John's feeling good. You don't need to send him flowers. You don't need to send him a good well card. He's just feeling just a little down, a little not feeling so good, and he wanted to take Friday off, so he asked me to come in and and host the show for them. So that's what we're here doing. How do people run Turbo 400s? By a wire setup. Doesn't it have a cable? The passing gear on a Turbo 400 is electronically controlled by a little solenoid. That's why that wire goes into the side. Turbo 350s have a kickdown cable. Chryslers have kickdown linkages. A Turbo 400 has got a little switch either on the carburetor or on the pedal inside the vehicle that makes it go into passing gear. Speaking of transmissions, do you know how about the autos they put behind the 5.9 Cummins and the 04 Dodges? I'm looking at one. The truck has 200K. Yeah, that transmission behind an 04 is a 48 RE. And it's a great transmission. It's got its little quirks like every other transmission in there, but it's actually a great transmission. A lot of people get pretty good money doing those. Do I work on modern transmissions? I did. I've done all the way up to 6-speed automatics. I've never done an 8-speed or a 10-speed. Even though I've watched videos on them and I talked to friends who rebuild those transmissions, and they actually look fairly easy. They don't have you don't have any bands. They're all clutches and planetary gears. So, but it's not that I can't. I spend all my time, doing old transmissions and not a lot of time doing modern transmissions. I've yet to do a NAG 1, which is an 8-speed, I think. I just don't have the opportunity to do them. I've ever been into a CVT. Yeah, on my snowmobile and on my golf cart. I've never done one. I've seen, like I said, I've seen my friends do those transmissions, and instead of running a rubber belt like they do on a snowmobile or on a golf cart, their band is made from steel, and from what I gather, they're not very good transmissions, and they break a lot. And when they break, they're very expensive. I guess I am now more of a specialist guy. When I used to work at Dodge, I did every single transmission known to man, except for some of the oddball foreign stuffs like Saabs and weirdo shit. I did it again. Weirdo stuff like that. But the older I get, the more of a dinosaur I become from doing transmissions. I did some imports. I was certified in Subarus because Thomas Dodge was also a Subaru dealer. They actually had some really, really nice transmissions. Of course, a lot of Toyotas and stuff like that. But you're talking in the 90s when I did all the imports. And I've been self-employed, for a long time. And I don't get any opportunities to do all that old stuff. I mean, if I had someone to run my shop and all I had to do was build stuff, I probably would be more interested. But when you have to build and diagnose and engineer and manufacturer and be the barn boss, you spread yourself a little thin. So develop reinvestment in there. The chat's running a little slow. See if I can go back and read a couple of these real quick. Danny Boyd says he remembers a buddy got a Subaru just in his transmission shop in the late 90s. CVT, they never had a fix. Like I said, I've seen those transmissions in person. My friend Mason owns a transmission shop just down the street from me. He's the one who makes those 4L79 drums for the 700 and the 4L60E. And he's that guy, man. I tell you what, he's a great transmission builder. What's up, JB? What's in the house today? How's it going? Where do you see I thought they had a live in here. It tells you how many people are in the chat. Guess I can look on my phone. Forgive me, Father. Wow, there's 40 people in the chat. That's a lot. What's up, Brian? How's it going, brother? Shows 39 watching. Where is UP? I'm surprised he's not in here busting chops. So I don't know if anybody knows. I said this earlier on my live today. But tomorrow, Blondie and I are taking Mr. Haney out. And we're going to drive around a couple places and we're going to film it and make a video of all the Christmas lights with Mr. Haney in the background. Blondie said she's all for going as long as I don't gun it and she doesn't bang her head on the back window. So I promised her that I would let her know if I was gonna run up on the throttle or not. Oh, there's another reason why I'm probably having a hard time putting things in the chat or pictures and stuff in here, because I'm a host. I'm a guest in Wilburn's. I'm not in mine. So I went to mine to practice, and I had all these buttons to do stuff, but that doesn't work here too. I got to remember that. Racing looked at his paycheck stub, and he gave $22,000 to Joe Biden to launder money to Ukraine and loot. Oh yeah, don't forget the 10% for the big guy. Well, luckily all that's over, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. Uh-oh. You can post comments in YouTube with your phone, but no links. I gotcha. .904 shift kit. Heck, this could be called the 904 show. Yeah, we all pay a lot in taxes. Yes, the name of my truck is from Mr. Haney, the Green Acres show. This is how I came up with that name. Mr. Haney was a scam artist. He was always trying to sell the Douglases something and always trying to win one over on him. So I thought that would be a great name for a truck that had a fast Hemi in it, but it looked like a hunk of junk. He's trying, that's what street racing is all about. You're trying to fool the guy into thinking you got a slower vehicle than you do. So thus the name Mr. Haney. Plus it was a little different. Everybody always thinks it's Mr. Hanky. If you don't know what Green Acres is, you're like, Mr. Hanky? No, it ain't the Christmas poops. I did a ton of FMXs back in the day. 6th Street Garage. It's actually a really neat trans. Clayton's Toolbox says, hello. That's a new one. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before. Also, let's see. Where is the real John at? Well, if you're asking about John Wilburn, he wasn't feeling too good today, so he asked me to step in and entertain you folks. And I'm a little, FMX was for the X was for experimental, if I remember correctly. John's fine. He's everything is okay with him. He decided to take a day off and do some stuff he had, some of his other stuff around there. Petticoat Junction. Old McDonald has a car. I've heard that guy before. Is it a guy or girl? Let's see what I got over here. Virtual Brevon. Hotkeys. Nope, that's not it. I know one thing. If I was at my garage at home, at the shop, drill hole here, dyno testing, untitled test drive. Let's see what this is. Oh yeah, we can play the test drive. I got a little trans brake action from Tim's truck. It's got a load though. I see how that works. Why does it not play? There it goes. This is when I had Tim's truck in the shop, and I was testing the trans brake. Let's try it again.
Recording?
All right, well, now I can try from the beginning. That was me turning the trans brake on.
We
and
have
off,
no
on and off.
windshield wipers,
That's all right.
just so you know.
We're in a race car.
I know.
This was the first test drive in the
Yeah, I'm recording.
E4OD.
Does this have an interior light?
Yeah.
There you go.
Boy, did that thing shift nice.
I said, remember too, you got fucking skinnies on the front.
Uh-oh.
I'm probably just gonna take a
That was Lucas cussing, not me.
It's getting a little hard to see up the windshield.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Tim Jacobson's truck.
See if there's no engine braking in a second.
Yeah.
Let's see how it is in the first. Tesla valve. Can't see shit.
Here.
Now.
Man, that trans brake works nice.
The tune-up needs to be changed because it's not sensing input shaft or input speed, output speed. So the motor's kind of like, oh, it's acting a little bit funny because it doesn't know where anything is at.
We come to find out, and thank you for Tim for helping us find out. When we would make the 1-2 shift on this, it would lay down, and I figured out it was shutting off the fuel. Well, what it was doing was when it was making the 1-2 shift, it thought it was the neutral first gear shift and that we were neutral dropping it at a high RPM, because with my valve body, first gear is now where neutral was, and second gear is now where drive was. So when we would rev the motor up and shift it from 1 to 2, it would lay down. And I'm like, man, it's the tune, it's the tune, it's the tune. Tim and his son, I believe, were smart enough to figure out it was the neutral switch. He cut the 4 small wires going to the neutral switch, and it never did it again. So I am so happy that we got that straightened out, because that really was, man. I kept on thinking it was the trans. It was a trans. I took the transmission out like 3 more times, thinking that I was doing something wrong, and the whole time it was the fuel was cutting off. And then we come to find out it was the neutral switch. So I'm glad that it was all taken care of. Let's see what else do I got. Yeah, de facto neutral drop. That's exactly right. It thought it was get neutral dropped. I don't know why I can't play the video where I left off. Acting a little bit funny because it doesn't know where anything is at. So that's why it's not, it's falling on its face a little bit.
It's also you're kind of like slipping big time. I mean, there's slicks on the back of the thing.
Cone makes a really good trans brake for the Turbo 400. And that's a nice shift.
Yeah, when we were on 2, it shifted real good into fourth.
That's a nice shift. We got shifted it on too. Let's see what else I got. I have to make sure it's. I got E4OD mods, Black Friday, Dad's First Shop, Drill the Hole Here, Test Drive Untitled, Lip Seal. I don't know what that one's all about. Again, from Cope Racing Transmissions. This is going to be very short, to the point. I'm doing the modifications for 4R100 to go in one of the test trucks that we have out here with our Casper-matic, reverse manual, trans brake, high pressure, billet. Notice that my mouth doesn't coincide with the words coming out of it. Guys. There's 3 modifications that you need. It's like watching a Buff Del Campo video to accept the valve body. And I'm going to go over these three modifications for you right now. The first is we're going to remove. All right. That's just repeats of other videos. We'll take those out of there. All right, if you guys have any transmission questions you'd like to ask me on anything but 904s, I'm only kidding. If you got a 904, you could chime in. Or if you don't. I was going to compliment you, though, on that, Buff. You guys do your green screen lives. That is almost perfect. You guys are not, blending in or out of the picture when you're doing the green screen. You 904 guys need most of the help. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, I got to move around a little bit. Anybody want to see my 3-bladed ceiling fan? Everybody gets a kick out of that. I think the trick to that, Buff, getting that green screen to work so good, isn't it make sure that you have enough light in front of you in order to make the green screen actually be an effect? because I bought a green screen and it come with lights and I didn't hook them up. And then after I did, it definitely seemed to work a lot better on that. Dust Devil is asking, do I need anything special to do the 727 in my new tow rig? Are you talking about that big block van that you have? If you're going to do a towing transmission, you just build it stock and then get a towing shift kit and a deep pan with a filter extension. That is probably the only thing special that you'll need. Kim is an engineer. I didn't know that. What state are you in, Buff? Are you in the South somewhere, I thought? Dr. Go says, you have a good video on that valve body removal and installation on the 904. I keep watching it until I have it memorized. Wow, I like that. You make it a good employee. Oh, you guys are in Tennessee. Okay. Well, there's a lot of people in that area, ain't there? Some of the common folk that we that are no-namers. Would that be the tune? Would you consider yourself a no-namer or a YouTuber? Because I kind of see them as being intertwined. You really can't have one without the other. If the lockup is only used for drag racing, how often would you or should you have it serviced? The actual torque converter itself? For one, you shouldn't use a single clutch for racing. You should have a dual or a triple. And I believe, Tim, you have a single. So if you use it just when you're going down the road, it will basically should last forever without ever having it serviced. But if you want to use it for drag racing, and I don't think you make enough power to lock up your stuff on the big end like some of those other cars do. A lot of times a lockup will bog the motor down. You can be a YouTuber without being a no-namer, but you can't call yourself a no-namer without YouTube. Yeah, I guess that. But in our circle of friends or community, in our circle, I consider them the same. Because what is being a no-namer is being a YouTuber. And yeah, I guess I see the point. You could be, Madison, you want to come say hi?
No.
There's my daughter. Say hi.
Hi.
See? Yeah, I get it. But in our circle, I would consider it, linked, if anything. Your converter is a triple? Wait a minute. Did you get your own converter, Tim, or did I get that for you? Because if you got your own converter, then it is a triple, and you can use it as much as you want, in racing or not. What is a mechanical diode? When is a mechanical diode necessary in a torque converter? I don't like them in torque converters. That's a one step up from a Sprag. I just, you'd have to ask a converter guy that. Mechanical diodes, man, they're loud. What is the most could be done, John? What is the most that can be done to a push button valve body? There is no limitations to a push button valve body. I make them in trans brakes. I make them in reverse manual valve bodies. I make them an automatic shift. There are no limitations. You can do just as much to a push button valve body than you can to a non-push button valve body. Hi, M. John Cope has been behaving himself. Yeah, it's pretty weird not to hear me drop an F-bomb, ain't it? You know. You two girls. B&R Racing heard that mechanical diodes can hurt the ET unless having a huge surplus of horsepower. You know, that may be, and here again, I think that's a question that someone who builds converters would give you a much better answer than I would. I've put mechanical diodes in 700 R4s when I used to do transmissions for King Speed Shop, and man, were those things loud. Oh, they click so loud. It sounded like the transmission was coming apart. I'm not a big fan of mechanical diodes. Matter of fact, mechanical diodes came in some of the late model 4R100s, and it says right in the book, if you take your transmission apart that has that, replace it with a Sprag. So yeah, I'm behaving myself. I'm not cussing. And I'm going through withdrawals. So what I'm going to have to do is when the live is over, I have to go outside in the back of my deck and scream out a couple F-bombs. Yeah, B&R Racing, you'd do best to ask your converter guy, and see what he says. Don't take my advice on it, because I don't know much to give you the proper answer to that. I would definitely talk to your converter guy. Can you get up lock up valve body in the push button? I've never had anybody ask me that. I guess you can make one. I'd have to figure it out. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to. You'd have to change the input shaft and stator support to a lockup, and then change the torque converter to a lockup. I guess I can make it work. I've never had no one ask me before. You know, I can really, really make it work with a reverse manual, then have the lockup be on and off manually. And I had a reverse manual push button car. It was a 63 Dodge. And if you know, the Dodges had the push buttons on the left side of the steering wheel and the heater controls on the right side of the steering wheel. And I switched them. Oh, I didn't switch them. Bobo did. So this way I can drive with my left hand on the steering wheel and I can shift with my right hand. Because it would be weird to race with your right hand and shift with your left hand, even if you're left-handed. You know, all left-handed people still shift their cars with the right hand because that's where the shifter is. It's on the right side of the it's on the right side of every driver, at least in America it is. First name, Mark. I used to play for the Chicago Cubs. 1060 West Addison is where the Cubs play every time in Chicago. Is your red car going to be ready for No Name? I don't know. There's a very good chance it can be. It depends on how much free time I have. As soon as the weather gets nice, I'm going to try to escape every weekend I can to go to the cottage. And if you're on the boat, you're not working on the car. So I guess I'll have to see. I know for sure I'll have the Power Wagon ready. And it really broke my heart not to take the Power Wagon to No Name because I really wanted my friends to see that truck. That truck really means a lot to me. It probably means more to me than the Cornet does for what it means, what the reasoning behind it and the memories behind it. And it's that truck has everything about me wrapped up in one vehicle. It's where I came from, it who my dad was. It was where I got my start in the business. What town I grew up in, all the way down to it has my reverse manual valve body in it. So there's just really so much wrapped in that truck. I wanted to share it with my friends. So when the cam went flat on it, I was heartbroken. Am I the only one that gets sick when your car breaks? That happens to me a lot. There's still a turbo 400 into the 7,000 RPM stock. They can be time bombs. Yes. And when a turbo 400 blows up, it's usually on the big end, not on the small end, what makes them even more dangerous than a torque flight. R&B Racing, I can't put a link in here. You should go to the Sonics page and watch that video of what they came out with. A beautiful lightweight drum that doesn't explode. If you're a 400 guy, I talked to my friend Mike at TransPro. He's put in 2 of those already. I told him the next one he gets to let me know so I can go over there with my camera and do a video on it. Go to sonics.com. Look under the videos for the Turbo 400 drums. It is a great video. It explains the rotation and the speed and how it works, how it blows up, how the new drum doesn't explode, and how it saves all the energy. When I actually learned something about a 400, a Turbo 400 works kind of like a Lenco. As you go down the track, all you do is turn on drums. The front clutch or the rear clutch for what they call the forward clutch for first, the forward intermediate for second, forward intermediate direct for third. But I did not know that the rotation is still like a torque flight, where the one drum goes counterclockwise, then stops, then goes clockwise. So it still works like a torque flight as far as direction's concerned. Well, look who it is, Mr. 700R4. He just got back from doing his Christmas shopping. Hey, Blondie. Boy, my voice is really taking a pounding. 2 hours earlier and alive and another 2 hours today. Dr. Go says when he saw the Dodge truck, he just had to, when he saw the truck with the bad lifter cam problem, that he felt my pain. Yeah, I did. He stopped in like the day of or the 2 days before, No Name, to come see me. He was entertaining some family. Oh, all right. Is he laying up here? I'm dying for a drink. I wonder if I got any left. I think I do. Supercar Blondie. Well, Blondie's my wife. That's her little nickname. No. You know what? I gotta look at something real quick. Talk among yourselves. Send. You know, I was complaining that the computer screen doesn't look all that great on my feed, but when I look at it on my phone, it looks just fine. I think Blondie's downstairs on the computer because I don't see her light on. Plus, she knows I'm live. She's going to stay far away from the computer as possible. All right, Dr. Go's asking me a question I might be able to answer. Do you know if Bozak Motors in Maryville still does performance packages in cars? They used to do some Mr. Norm stuff. I bought my Mopar from them in '81. Wow. I bought my son's Dodge Ram from Bozak's, and I think since Mr. Norm passed, they don't do nothing with that anymore. They're known for selling a couple cars, but now those Challengers or whatnot are being a thing of the past. So I would have to say, with guessing, no. I still have a friend that works there as a technician, and he doesn't talk about it. I don't hear him talk about that anymore. So to answer your question, Dr. Go, I would have to say no. It's a big no. No. Wow, the time's flying. It's already been an hour and 23 minutes. Mr. Norm and Royal Pontiac represented Chicago. They did. If you go check out some of Two Hacks videos, he did a real great job bringing some history back, some old footage and music, and some of the Mr. Norm stuff, the WLS radio stations. Definitely go to Two Hacks website if you're into that Mr. Norm thing. And actually, if you ever go anywhere with Jeff, he was with Norm, was personal friends with Norm. And I tell you what, that guy's got more stories about Mr. Norm. And he spits them out like it was yesterday. Wasn't there a gay Pontiac? That was the guy's last name. There you go. There's the link right there to Two Hacks. Yeah, what was that Chevy dealer not too far from us? It was Yanko himself, wasn't it? No, what was that Chevy dealer called? I don't remember. The building is still there. It was Yanko. Is where all the Yankos were made, I thought. Gay Pontiac. I seen that car. It's a 66 GTO. It looks like some kind of a AFX car or a funny car or something. I know you guys would love to hear some of my Christmas music in the background. Do 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 do. Music. Can't play anything that has. I can't play anything with copyright. I don't want John to get in trouble. The Scottish Head Gay Gordon. I don't even know where my mouse is. Well, Dougie hurt my feelings. He didn't come in to say hi tonight. Yeah, it was right. The guy who knew Mary Hatch also knows that it was Grandma was run over by a reindeer and not Santa. All right, I'm going to check real quick to see how many more orders came in on our Black Friday sale. Ooh, we're up to 20. 20 orders. And the last couple orders were doozies. Wow, Dylan, you placed an order online. Oh, look at that. You got a banner, a sticker, and a t-shirt. I tell you what, yeah, you're an all right guy, Dylan. Don Gay Pontiac was out of Texas. Imagine that. Gay Pontiac out of Texas. Where you been, Jeff? I've been plugging your videos for you, brother. That's what it was. Nikki Chevrolet. Thank you for reminding me that Nikki Chevrolet building is still there. They were a sponsor at US 30, and that's where everybody went and got the Yankos. That's right. Nikki Chevrolet with the K spelled backwards. See, that's one thing about Jeff at Two Hacks. That dude is a walking car encyclopedia. I mean, this guy knows this stuff off the top of his head like it happened 2 minutes ago. It amazes me how much he knows. So if you ever want to take a cross-country drive, coast to coast, and you don't want to fall asleep, take Jeff with you. I have a local guy, B&R Racing, that's got a 66 goat with those Hearst GTO mags. They're kind of cool looking. See? Jeff's up for that coast-to-coast drive. I don't mind traveling if I don't have to drive, and I could just sit back and enjoy the ride. But 95% of the time that I travel anywhere, I'm always driving and I'm always by myself. So I don't like to travel as much as I used to. I like driving to Monticello, Indiana. That's about it. Jeff said he's going to send me a picture of Mr. Norm's shop with the gay Pontiac cartoon stuff. Oh, okay. Is it homophobic? Text me, Jeff, so I can show everybody if it's clean. Because, you know, Wilburn's mom's in here. And we got to practice our Southern hospitality. We have to practice our Southern hospitality. That's part of the reason why No Name Nationals is such a good time. No, I almost felt guilty for not going. But I'm always flim-flam on a lot of stuff. O'Reilly sells the Hearst mag wheels? Are you kidding me? Do you know one of those auto parts stores sells a copy version or a generic version of the flux capacitor? It's got a part number and everything. All right, Jeff sent me the cartoon of the gay Pontiac. That was on the wall. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Don is gay Pontiac. Don't worry, son, if you lose to him, he'll write a letter. This is a cartoon that was in Grand Spalding Dodge about Don Gay and the Pontiac. See what I mean when I said Jeff at Two Hacks as a walking car encyclopedia? I tell you what, that guy knows more stuff. It's unbelievable what that guy knows. Dean Stevens thinks it's homophobic, I think. I don't know. Could be. For Friday, yeah. And if any of you guys, you heard me talk about, the community and all that other stuff, it really would be a good thing to help John out and register. I'm trying to turn on this damn phone of mine. You know you're going. And John, UP, tell me the deadline that John is shooting for registration. If all us guys can get our asses together, Wilburn would have a much easier time financially taking care of the No Name Nationals if he had a certain amount of people registered, ready to go before a certain date. And I'm waiting for UP to tell me what that date is. I don't remember it. I thought John said by a certain day, but I don't want to say the wrong day. So I say you should do it by the first of the year. You all know you're going. So I just don't remember what that date was. Man, that fan is on me and it's cold. Dean, you're funny. Funny? Funny how? Funny like I'm a clown, I'm here to amuse you? Well, it's just so damn funny. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a lot of people in here tonight. After tonight's video or tonight's live, Tony is going to be having his live. and that is at 9 o'clock Chicago time. The whole world is on Chicago time. So don't forget that. Let's see. There's 28 people in here. That's actually low for John's thing. We do have a date, but everybody should register as soon as they can. Dust Devil thinks it's Memorial Day. So it would really help him do that, because I know he cuts it down to the penny as far as the cost, because John's not doing it to make a buck on it or anything like that. He really does do it for the community. He's out there putting this little race together. It's for all of us. It's this big group of guys and racers that are friends with each other, and so if you want to help them out, the earlier you can buy your tickets, the better. You were in Blue Island, man. That was a risky part of town when I was a kid. I used to work at the Blue Island Multi-State Transmissions, and I remember it not being such a great neighborhood. The hair band, Enough's Enough, is from Blue Island. How do I know this? Because my wife has been a fan ever since they came out. And we went there on a few occasions to go see them play. I was dragged, kicking and screaming, but I went. I think I'm going to cut out here at 1:45 today, because I was already on my live for 2 hours, which was a ball. Man, I was laughing my you know what off. Do I like hair bands? No, I not really. I'm not really into that hair band music. During that time when the hair bands were real big, I was big into Led Zeppelin. And it was like a rebellion against the hair bands. At that time, Metallica was still too fast for me. I like the Black Album and on. Everybody likes the thrashing Metallica. I thought it was too much. But when alternative hit, and it wasn't just like the Nirvanas and stuff like that, it was Pumpkins, Smashing Pumpkins, REM, Talking Heads, that college alternative that came out before the Seattle alternative is what I was always into. I'm in Seattle alternative music too, but yep, Pearl Jam. So you're gonna have guys that like that Metallica, those first 4 albums, and they're okay. I wouldn't go out and buy one. I heard you. Enough's Enough was very lame. Yeah. Dude, 6th Avenue, 6th Street, 6th Street Garage. I saw Enough's Enough, I think 3 or 4 times. I took my wife there. Dust Devil likes everything but country. You know, I like some of the early 2000s country music. And some of that country music is really more like pop in a way now. Country music is not as country music. I like the I like I like the blues and I love Led Zeppelin, especially the bluesy, slow Led Zeppelin is what I really like. All right. I have a news flash for you as soon as I can find it. Whoop, wrong one. What John is looking for is a minimum of 150 registered cars by Memorial Day. That would give us enough to take care of the gate and the merch for the event. And I thought that's what the day was. So I know I buy mine, I thought in January or February. So if you know John really steps up to the plate for all of us, if we can do that for him, that would really go a long way for him. So no grunge or rap for you. No, I'm not much in the rap at all, but man, I sure there's a lot of good grunge stuff out there. The grunge slash alternative is what I like. Old McDonald had a car. Pink Floyd, yeah. Boston, yes. ELO, definitely. My daughter went and saw them this year. Talking Heads, all the way. Zepp, of course. Jerry Rafferty, eh. What is that going off on my computer? I don't know. Yeah, I love ELO. And I like the ELO and like the Supertramp. A lot of Yes music. I get in my fades. I'll listen to Pink Floyd, Animals album for a week, and then I'll switch to something else. I was a huge Kiss fan in grade school. Man, I wanted to be Ace Frehley so bad. Also, I don't know if any of you guys know this. I probably shouldn't be telling you, but I was a competitive roller skater in the 70s and the 80s, all the way up till my sophomore year in high school. So I did a lot of roller disco. And I still listen to what I call skating music, which is I guess it would be considered, Brick House, Flashlight. It was a mix of disco and funk. Your late 70s, early 80s disco funk music. Kiss, Supertramp, and Cheap Trick, all in one deal. Yep, Brian, I love a lot of that crazy funk bootsy style music. The Bee Gees is skating music. It sure is. Yeah, I roller skated competition. I skated in men's singles, and then I switched to young teens pairs where I had a girl skating partner, and I don't show too many people those pictures. It's pre-gay Pontiac, you know. I mean, it wasn't then, but it was weird because I would go to school. If you seen me in school, I would always wear rock t-shirts and bell bottoms. And then right off the get-go, even though I didn't smoke pot, you would be classified as stoner. Then I would leave the high school, get off the school bus, and then go to the roller skating rink, and I would switch to my glittery roller skating outfit. So in high school, I led a double life. I had two sets of friends. The stoner hot rod gearhead mechanical guys that I knew from the town, from Cal City and going to TF North. And then I had all my skating friends that I knew from the roller rink. So, but yeah, I was a roller skating fool. I won the state championship once. That year I went to nationals. I probably have more roller skating trophies and medals than I do racing uh, trophies and medals. Oh shit! All right, I'll show you one picture, and this is me. This is me roller skating. I don't know. This had to have been about 10 years ago, and that is at my home rink. And the name of that rink is Linwood Sports Center, and they filmed a movie there called Roll Bounce. So if you guys watch that movie called Roll Bounce, that is my home roller skating rink. Tim, I just got word that you registered for the No Name Nationals. Thank you very much. That is very kind of you. All the rest of you guys, don't screw around. Help John out. Be a part of that community. That's what it's all about. And support what supports us. So if you can get that registration done, John would highly appreciate it. And Tim, thank you. I got word through the little birdie that you just registered. All right, let's see. Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much. For Mr. Wilburn, thank you very much. That was very kind of you. Rink, not rock. Let's see. Stoners, motorheads, and roller skaters were the cool kids. That's funny. Cliphead ladies, rock and roll. You know, sadly, of all the time, I mean, I've always was a big picture taker. I've got some great pictures from when I was young, like 16 and younger, and then 16 and older. I always took pictures of everything. I only have a few pictures of me skating and no home movies of me roller skating. If I can show you some of the shit that I did, the moves I made, you'd be like, there's no way Cope could do that. But I did. I actually, when I was, let's see, I was in my late 30s when I took my son Johnny to a skate park for skateboarding. I was also good at skateboarding. I was good at skateboarding, roller skating, skiing for both snow and water. If it required to have balance, I could do it. So, anyways, when I was about in my late 30s, I took my son to a skateboard park, and I got up there and I'm doing the turns and kicking and back and forth and up and down. And the young kids were looking at that fat old man getting down on the skateboard. It kind of felt pretty good. Oh, Tim needs only a few more subs. I see Wilburn chimed in. Tim is at 488 subs. So if anybody wants to go to Tim's Tim's YouTube channel, and I have to do it. I don't even know if I subscribed yet to Tim's channel. There's that Roll Bounce movie. If you want to watch it, UP just put a little link up to that. Go to Tim's channel. He has the world's very first 4R100 trans brake in his truck, and he will be at the No Name National signing autographs, giving pictures, and candy to all the little kids. Oh, he needs 488 subs. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. That means he's only got 22 subs. So we have a call out. We got to help out a fellow no-namer. Tim, if you guys haven't met him, he's a great guy. Or he's got 400, and I don't know if he needs it or whatever. Go to Tim's YouTube channel and give him a sub. You'll see some of the stuff of what he's done with his truck. He's become a very good racer now that he's got a trans brake. So go check his YouTube channel out and show him a little sub love. Well, I see Wilburn's in the chat here. He must have taken a couple hits of that Dr. Pepper, and he must be doing better. That's good to hear. He's feeling a little bit more chipper. And I wanted to say, hey, thanks, John, to think of me as the first one that you'd choose to fill in the shoes, the Wilburn shoes there, to make sure that I entertain all your guests, which are kind of all of our guests, you know. Oh. I know one thing, I'm going to have a sore throat tomorrow. All the talking I did today on the phone, all the talking I did today in 2 different lives. All right, Mr. Go just sub Tim. Thank you so much. That is so nice of you. I'm going to do it as soon as I get off the computer here. Wilburn saying thank you to me. Thank you to you. Thank you to everyone for showing up. And I did okay. I think I would have done better if I could have. I actually put all these pictures to the side of the coronet, and I was going to talk a little bit about it just to keep the chat thingy going, you know. But it didn't work because I'm a guest on Wilburn's thingy, and it wasn't working for me. So we're about 6 minutes before Tony starts. So I am going to say good night. Say happy Thanksgiving. It was better than the previous 3 Thanksgivings for some reason. It's like we got an early Christmas present early, and it felt good not to be cheated. And so to everybody in the chat, thanks for coming to John's site. Don't forget, get your butt registered for the No Name Nationals. It would really help him out. So, yes, it's going to be an awesome year. So this is John Cope saying good night and goodbye. How you doing, John boy?
I'm doing good job.
fuck, that was terrible. There was a point there. I had to go on my phone just to make sure I was live because I didn't have any interaction whatsoever with the chat.
It's fun freestyling for 2 hours, isn't it?
If I was at the shop, I think it would have been different. You know what I mean? I don't know, because I did fine today, but there was a couple dead spots. I'm like, oh, fuck, and I'm trying to pick shit out of the chat and to talk about this or talk about that. And these guys were just bullshitting among themselves. And I was like, duh.
Works out. Thanks for guest hosting for me, man.
You got it, brother.
You have paid your dues with lives today. Be good. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you later.